This video is a tutorial of how to find quality secondary sources within the scientific literature. My name is Kirsten Duffin. I'm a reference librarian at Booth Library on the campus of Eastern Illinois University. Contact me at kduffin@eiu.edu. First, let's talk about what a secondary source is in the context of scientific research and how secondary sources are different from primary sources. A primary source reports on a scientist's original research. Types of primary literature include, but are not limited to, patents, like this one for the iPhone, technical reports. This report from the Ecology Center, a nonprofit organization, provides information about the hazardous chemicals found in child car seats. And research articles. Here's a research article on stress incurred by songbirds during migration. A secondary source evaluates and interprets the primary literature for a broader audience. Among other types of secondary sources, the secondary literature may include magazine articles, this one's on health apps for smartphones, news articles. Here's an article about one possible reason the shape of pupils varies among animal species. And books, like this Carl Sagan book Cosmos, which was later adapted into a TV series in 1980 and again in 2014. To find quality secondary sources using the library, we'll need to begin at the library homepage, library.eiu.edu. You may also link to the library website from the EIU homepage. In this video, we'll search two databases that include resources from thousands of scholarly journals, magazines, newspapers, and technical reports. In other words, the databases include both primary and secondary sources. From the library homepage, choose Databases. This will bring up an A to Z list of all the article databases to which Booth Library subscribes. We'll click on Academic Search Complete, and then from this long list of databases, we're going to add Master File Premier. These two databases provide coverage across many fields of study and include science magazines, that is, secondary sources, that target a general audience. Type in your keywords. To get more results, remember to combine your keywords with AND by using these search boxes. The databases are different than searching Google. Limit the words you search to those that are the most important concepts of your research question. Synonyms or similar words are best searched together on one line and combined with OR to yield more results. All results of this search will contain the word feathers and will either contain the word origin or evolution in the article. On the search result page, you'll find the total number of results your search found. Here we've got just over 1,200 results. For each result, you will see the article's title, authors, source, that is the name of the publication, which may be a journal, newspaper, magazine, or some other source, date of publication, volume, issue, page range. In other words, all the elements you need to create a citation. Subject terms relevant to each article are provided, and these can be used as keywords when you run additional searches. You can also view the full text of the article directly from the results page. Click on an article title to read more about the article, including the abstract, which summarizes the content of the article. Read the abstract before downloading the full text article to ensure it's relevant to your research. This will save you a lot of time in the long run. This article is from the scholarly journal Nature. This is a primary source reporting original research. Let's limit our results to only view secondary sources. And we'll do this using the left-hand column within the database. In the left-hand column, we're looking for source types, and we're going to select magazines, and if it's available, news. Of the remaining results, We went from just over 1,200 to 200 that are now secondary sources, which are meant for the layperson or non-professional to read. We are seeing magazine articles from Scientific American, Science News, National Geographic, among others. We no longer see any results from the primary literature, say Journal of Anatomy or Journal of Ornithology, which are written for the professional scientist. Browse through more than just the first 2 or 3 results. Sometimes a useful resource will be lower on the page or even on a second or third page of the results. Click on a title that interests you to view the article abstract. If the article is not what you want, go back to the main search results page. Try another article. Viewing multiple articles before choosing the best ones for your research is a normal part of the research process. Don't be afraid to look at dozens of articles before choosing the best for your research. When you find an article that aligns with your research interest, look on the left side of the screen. Here you'll find one or a number of links that will provide you the full text of the article. In this case, we bring up the HTML full text article. There are additional tools within the article database to help you organize your research over on the right-hand side of the page. You can add articles to a folder, essentially bookmarking them to look at all of the selected titles at once, but be aware when you close your browser, you will lose these bookmarked articles. You can print, email, or save an item, as well as view its formatted citation. Check with your professor to know what citation style to use for your class. There is also a permalink or permanent link to return back to this article. You don't want to save the URL at the top of the page because that link is timed to program out. So the permalink will bring you back to this article. Research is an iterative process. The first article you read may not be the best one for your purposes. Try different search terms and browse a few articles before choosing which to use for your research. And be aware that your search results will now need to be refined again to limit to just those that are secondary sources. Remember that you can always ask for assistance with any part of the research process, from brainstorming a topic through locating the full text of an article. A librarian is always available in person, via phone, email, instant message chat, or by scheduling an appointment. Asking a librarian for help if you're having trouble finding resources is an excellent way to make the research process easier and less frustrating. We're here to help. Good luck with your research.